In 2017, the FDA issued a public warning about a product sitting in the treat aisle of nearly every pet store in America. 68 reports, 90 dogs, 15 of them died. And not from a contaminated batch, not from a recall, from the product working exactly the way it was designed to work. Blocked airways, torn intestines, internal bleeding, rectal bleeding, dogs choking in their own living rooms while their owners watched. The FDA's advice was blunt: do not give these to your dog. That product is still on the shelf today. Same aisle, same bin, probably within a mile of where you're sitting. It's number one on this list, and I bet you've bought it. Here's the thing about the chew aisle that nobody tells you. Your dog spends more time with a chew than with anything else you buy. Food takes 90 seconds. A chew takes an hour, unsupervised, in the other room while you're doing something else. So today, 7 dog chews with records worth knowing and 3 that actually hold up. And at the end, a 1-second test you can do with your own thumbnail that tells you whether a chew is safe to hand over. Let's start. Number 7, antlers, hooves, and hard nylon chews. These get sold on durability. It lasts forever, the packaging says. Your power chewer can't destroy it. That's exactly the problem. Here's what veterinary dentists have been saying for years. A dog's jaw generates enormous force. When something in that jaw does not give, something has to, and what gives is the tooth. The specific injury is called a slab fracture. It usually happens to the big upper premolar, the carnassial, and it's often invisible from the outside. Your dog doesn't yelp, your dog doesn't stop chewing. Dogs almost never show tooth pain. You find out at a dental cleaning, and the repair is a root canal or an extraction under general anesthesia. So the marketing claim and the risk are the same sentence. It lasts forever because it is harder than your dog's teeth. There's no recall story here. Nothing was contaminated. This is just physics, sold as a feature. Number 6, any chew that says dental but isn't on the VOHC list. Walk that aisle and count how many packages say dental, tartar control, or healthy teeth. It's most of them. Now here's what almost no dog owner knows. There is a real, independent standard for that claim. The Veterinary Oral Health Council publishes a public list of products that submitted actual trial data proving they reduce plaque or tartar, not marketing, submitted evidence, reviewed, then listed at VOHC.org, where anyone can read it in 30 seconds. Go look at it. It's short, much shorter than the aisle. So the rule is simple. If a chew claims dental benefits and it is not on that list, the claim has not been demonstrated to any independent standard. It might still be a fine chew. It has not proven the thing printed on the front. And here's the part the packaging will never say. No chew replaces brushing or a veterinary cleaning. The best dental chew on earth is a supplement to dental care, not a substitute for it. Number 5, bully sticks. These have become the default premium chew, single ingredient, fully digestible, natural, and a lot of owners switch to them specifically to get away from rawhide. So let's look at what testing actually found. In a study published in the Canadian Veterinary Journal, researchers from Tufts and the University of Guelph bought 26 bully sticks from different manufacturers in the US and Canada and tested them. 2 findings. First, calories. The sticks ran from 9 to 22 calories per inch. That puts an average 6-inch stick at about 88 calories. For a 50-pound dog, that's roughly 9% of daily calories. For a 10-pound dog, it's 30%. 30% from one chew that your dog gets in addition to dinner most days because it keeps him quiet. Second, bacteria. 1/3 of the sticks tested came back contaminated. 7 with E. coli, including 1 tetracycline-resistant sample, 1 with MRSA, 1 with C. difficile. The researchers were careful to say a larger sample would be needed to know if that's representative. I'll pass that caveat straight to you. But notice who's actually at risk there. You handle that stick. Your kid picks it up off the carpet. That's the same story we keep finding in this aisle. Number 4, pig ears. Summer of 2019. The CDC and FDA traced a multi-state salmonella outbreak to pig ear treats. Not dogs getting sick, people. 154 people across 34 states, 35 hospitalized. Many of them had eaten nothing at all. They had handled the treats or touched the dog that did. Children were among the cases. Recalls followed. Bulk pig ears at retail, a distributor, and a packaged brand. with product histories tracing back to South America. And here's the sentence that should stick with you. For months, the FDA and CDC told Americans to stop buying all pig ear treats. Not a lot number, not a brand, the entire category. Why? Because the bulk bin is the least traceable product in the building. There is no lot code on a naked pig ear, no label, no country, no plant. When the outbreak hit, the only advice that worked was avoid everything. The bins are back now, and the investigation closed. What did not change is the structure. A treat with no packaging is a treat with no paper trail. If there's ever another recall, you will never know it applied to you. Number 3, rawhide, specifically Good and Fun and Healthy Hide. June 2017, United Pet Group recalls multiple rawhide brands: American Beef Hide, Digest Ease, Healthy Hide, including Good and Fun and Good and Fit, plus retailer private labels. And the reason is one of the strangest sentences in recall history. Plants in Mexico and Colombia and a supplier in Brazil had been using a quaternary ammonium compound as a processing aid. That chemical is approved in the United States for exactly one purpose: cleaning food processing equipment. It is not approved for processing the thing your dog gnaws on for an hour and then swallows. Owner's first clue, according to the company, was the smell. The chews smelled wrong. Then came the vomiting and diarrhea reports. Now think about what that recall actually revealed. Rawhide is a leather industry byproduct. It travels through multi-country chemical baths, and the finished product carries no ingredient panel explaining any of it. 2017 wasn't a freak event. It was the one time the process left a smell. Number 2, Greenies, the best-selling dental chew in America. The green toothbrush-shaped one your vet's lobby probably sells. And this one requires precision, so stay with me. In the mid-2000s, reports built up of dogs whose greenies didn't break down, chews lodging in the esophagus or the intestine, emergency surgery. CNN's reporting at the time counted more than a dozen deaths. And in a 2006 press conference, the founder acknowledged the company had covered vet costs or compensated owners in as many as 20 fatal cases. A federal lawsuit followed. In 2007, a judge approved a settlement. Now the fairness section, in full because it matters. Greenies reformulated in 2006 to break down more easily. The packaging gained explicit size guides and feeding warnings. The brand was later bought by Mars, and today's product is physically and chemically a different chew than the one in those court filings. Millions of dogs eat them without incident, and it carries a VOHC seal. So why is it still number 2? Because the warnings printed on today's package exist because of a body count. That's worth knowing when you hand one to a dog who swallows things whole. And because vet-recommended dental chew is the strongest halo in this aisle. And this brand's own history is the cleanest proof on this list that a halo is not a safety record. Number 1, bone treats. Ham bones, pork femur bones, rib bones, smoky knuckle bones. The ones in the bin by the register, shrink-wrapped, smoked, sometimes flavored. They look like the most natural thing in the store, a bone. What could be more normal for a dog than a bone? Here's what the FDA found. 68 reports of illness, 90 dogs affected, 15 dogs died. The injuries in those reports: gastrointestinal obstructions, blocked airways, choking, cuts in the mouth and tonsils, vomiting and diarrhea, bleeding from the rectum. And this is the crucial distinction. These are not raw butcher bones. The FDA specifically defines a bone treat as a real bone that has been processed, smoked or baked, sometimes with preservatives and seasonings added. That processing is what does it. Drying a bone makes it brittle. Brittle bone splinters. Splinters have edges, and your dog is applying hundreds of pounds of force to it in the next room while you're making dinner. The FDA's guidance was not subtle. Do not give these to your dog. They published a list of the exact product types, and they are still sold today right at the front of the store in the impulse bin, because a warning is not a ban. 15 dogs from a product that looks like the most natural thing on the shelf. So what do you actually hand your dog? Number 3, a chew from the current VOHC list. Check it yourself before you buy, because the list changes. This is the only category in the aisle where the health claim has independent evidence behind it. Match the size guide and supervise. Number 2, a single ingredient chew from a named country given inside a calorie budget one named protein, made and sourced somewhere. The package will actually tell you. And remember, the bully stick math counted as part of the day's food, not as a free extra. Number 1, a durable rubber chew toy, stuffed and frozen. This is the one the industry never advertises. A hollow rubber toy packed with a little of your dog's own kibble and some plain wet food, then frozen solid. It gives you a 45-minute chew, 0 added calories because it's food he was already getting. No bacteria, no splinters, nothing to swallow, and it's a one-time purchase that outlives everything else in this video. For heavy chewers, that's not a downgrade. That's the answer. Now, the test I promised you. It takes 1 second. Press your thumbnail into the chew. If it doesn't dent even slightly, it's too hard for your dog's teeth. That's it. Antler, hoof, hard nylon, dried bone. If your thumbnail leaves no mark, it can fracture a carnassial. And the second half of the same rule. If your dog can break off a piece and swallow it, it's the wrong size or the wrong chew. Too hard breaks teeth, too breakable blocks intestines. Everything safe lives between those two things. One last thing, and it's why this aisle deserves more attention than the food aisle. Your dog will not tell you when a chew has hurt him. He won't yelp at a cracked tooth. He'll keep chewing on a fractured molar for months, and an obstruction doesn't announce itself either until he stops eating and it's an emergency. You're not there when it happens. That's the whole point of a chew. You hand it over so you can do something else. Which means the decision you make at the shelf is the entire safety system. So go look at what's in your dog's toy basket right now, press your thumbnail into it, and tell me in the comments what you found. I want to know how many of you have an antler in the house.